Hello everybody. We have a game with the black pieces against Max 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 Max, rated 1569. Against d4, let's go for d5 this game. He brings his knight out. We'll just play c6. Nice Slav setup. Okay, he reacts by bringing the bishop out to f4. Not a big deal. We'll develop our king's knight towards the center. As he goes e3, opening up his light square bishop, he's just going for a solid setup, as d4 players tend to do. I'm going to develop the bishop outside of the pawn chain before I close it, and he plays c4, intending queen b3. Or intending a takes queen b3, something like that. But I'm going to take his knight, luring his queen away from any of those ideas. Or he could double his pawns, be my guest. See, now he doesn't want to double, but he also doesn't want to take it away. So he goes for the doubling because he's stubborn. But I'm not sure that was an objective decision. I think it was an emotional one. And I'm happy to see that. In any case, since his knight's not developed here, he doesn't have enough pressure on my d5 point to make it queen b3 work. Okay. So anyway, it's our turn. If we complete the pawn chain, I mean, he literally has nothing. So now he develops a knight. Pinning the knight, you can never add, real pressure. Like, whatever pressure you can add, he can just resolve. Probably. So developing the bishop here might make more sense. Saying, hey, you have to react. If you leave your bishop there, we'll triple your pawns. If you take our bishop, we're closer to an endgame with a better structure. And we're all just developing a piece after all, preparing castling, making just the most natural move, nothing crazy. So he takes, we take, our position's solid. And he doubled his pawns but never got to go for anything, so was it worth it? So he closes down the structure for this one move attack on my queen. I only have a certain amount of squares to go to. Can't tell which is the best square. Okay, what does he want to do? He wants to go here, here. I don't know. My knight wants to go here, so I guess, I don't know, something about e7 feels more spacious, more correct, less assailable, and also has access here. Feels right. Sometimes these little queen moves or little king moves can be the most difficult. So he goes queen c2. Staring here. I mean, I'm never worried about him pushing because I'll just ignore him. That's the benefit of giving them a bad structure is if they ever take, they make the structure even worse, so they're not really threatening anything. I could develop a new piece. That would make a lot of sense. So let's do that. Also, We are now ready to play e5. Could have played it last move, but not sure I want to take with the queen instead of the knight. So either way, he moves the rook over and attacks the pawn. I mean, you could just castle. And he goes, I mean, just play g6. He's going to put his bishop here anyway. This stops 3 pieces in 1. My king's not even there. g6 shuts down 18 points of material, so whatever. So that's why he decides to go this way. Maybe a different route, but not really sure what it's doing there either. I think I am going to open this center though. I mean, it does. I'm going to do it. Play in the center. You probably could castle first, but you could also castle next, I feel like. It does allow his bishop to trade itself, but I'm also fine with that. So he castles long. Now we could definitely castle long if we want. But what does he intend if we take? Is he really going to take with the rook? Then this pawn hangs. So if we take here, he has to take with the pawn, but that double isolates those guys and creates a backwards d4 pawn. It's all good for me. So here, now the alignment's a problem, so long castle just for safety. Rook over, queen has to go somewhere. Okay. I mean, that's all pretty good. Could also castle short and attack his king. I like that too. Let's do that. Let's castle short. He has this pawn so far in our territory that a simple b6 just collapses his pawn chain around his king. So I'll just go with that option. There's a lot of ways to play this, but I'm going to go for the max. That makes the most sense. Just boom, boom, put a rook somewhere, slam him. Okay, so now he throws this rook over, which I thought maybe the other rook, but now when I take and he takes, he's on the queen. But I still don't have to take. I'm just going to go with my b6 move. Opening up his king side, and he's nowhere near opening up my king side. But because he put a pawn so far in my face, I'm only one move away. You know, I didn't put a pawn in his territory. So now he's moving pawns, but this gives me the very easy option of pushing past, closing everything down. So that's a little bit weird. I guess he has another f pawn to attack it with, so maybe that's what he's getting at. So he's threatening the pawn in the center, right? But what if I take this pawn too? I could also push first. I feel like that just might be simpler. You push, then even if he attacks, you take this. He takes this, you take this. Then his king's going to open up. Yeah, let's push past, and then we're gonna just try to Pac-Man this way. And I don't really see it for him. I guess he can try one of these, but I just don't see it working, is what I'm saying. His best chance is to get me on the clock. Because I'm going to ignore both of these. I feel like they don't really threaten anything real. Because if he takes, I mean, we could just throw something in. So he moves a defender. That can't be right. Okay, so I'm definitely going to take his pawns. He's wasted time. He didn't send forward any critical try. And now we can guarantee the queen trade up material, but let's take with the knight instead because it comes with threats. And we want to attack his king if we can, instead of just be up a pawn. Okay, so we go in for the check, and we immediately get material, which is nice. What else do we have? We have this check, which is nice, because I don't know what it leads to. I'm not even calculating, but I know he can't block with a bishop or a pawn, so it can't be bad. Okay, he moves the king. What else do I have? I mean, if I start hitting the knight, he can start hitting the queen. I guess this pawn's hanging, but this knight can't. Oops, can't do anything. This rook, my rooks can't really do anything. I mean, a rook to the b file makes sense if my queen's not where it is. Let's just take the free material since I have no time. I can guarantee the queen trade this way. But first, let's just bring in the new piece. That way, if he messes with my queen, I can just take the pawn. Just do it this way. Okay, so he takes the pawn, but we're up material. Let's just win more material. He can't take the rook because his queen would hang. And now we win more material, so this is nice. We could also develop a new piece, but since we can't develop it here because of the bishop, let's... Why is my thing freezing? My mouse isn't moving. Actually, okay, there it is. Let's take the pawn. Hopefully my screen doesn't freeze with a minute 30 on my clock. He gives me a check. Let's just get it out of the way. He's going to attack my pawn, potentially. I think we should just try to full send it up the board. Might be the fastest option. Our rook is pretty actively placed, which is a plus. So let's get behind, and this knight, maybe we can kind of trap it if we're sneaky. I can be sneaky. Rook here is a sneaky move. It's just like, what the heck is that? Traps your knight. That's what the heck it is. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's still two pieces for it. Yeah. So I'm going to go rook c2 because it's not a waste of time. It's for free since it comes with a hidden threat. The one downside is it unprotects your a pawn, but you can just go rook c7. Oh, okay. So he evacuates on time with a threat. Let's just move it out of the way. Whatever, I don't have time to think, so let's push the pass pawn. Hopefully I'm not blundering anything. Okay. He's moving his knight back and forth to attack my rook. Let's see what he does. If I get the chance, I will push this at the right time. Let's harass his knight a little bit. Need to get one of these through. Hey, his knight went back home. Congratulations, you win the game. He should win some type of prize. So I'm going to ignore that. And if he takes, I'm going to ignore that. So, okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity to get here without messing up my pawn structure, because normally he could take and mess it up, but now he can't. I'm just going to get behind it, I think. Takes. So, takes. Okay. He can't move his king without hanging something like that. And I know he wanted to move his king to attack my rook. Just to simplify. Sorry for the minimal talking. I had to make sure I converted that on time. Oh man, that was close. Oof. Okay, we can go through that now. With 20 seconds to spare, that's closer than I thought. I mean, we had more time left than I thought we would have. So, center and development. Development and center. Development and center. It always makes me happy when I see that. And I just see like, oh, 1 inaccuracy, 30 cent a pawn, 95. Because in the middle of the game, I question so many of my decisions. And so I just don't expect it, but it's nice to see. So, anyway, the idea behind c4 is a lot of times when they have a knight here, they're pressuring your light squares, so they play queen b3 when you move your bishop out. They take your pawn, and then they pressure 2 pawns at once. You have no good way to defend. But that's not going to work in this case. We get rid of the knight. I try to lure his queen this way to remove all ideas on the queen side. He doesn't go for it, but... okay, so they're both equally playable. Queen and pawn. I don't know if theory suggests one over the other, but the computer Licha says they're equal. But I'm happy to see this because I feel completely... I don't feel threatened at all by white and what they're doing. I feel totally safe. So center and development. Development and center. For free, because it's a threat. Force move. Force move. Now... okay, so c7, e7 doesn't matter. I mean, in human terms it probably matters, but in computer terms they don't care where you put it. So I go here. I like this one the best. Now maybe you could play e5 immediately, but yeah, it's one of the moves. I noticed it right after I moved my knight out. If I saw it like a half a second earlier, I think I would have thrown it in. Because even if he took and I had to take with my queen, I wouldn't mind my queen here. It's not like you can harass it. It's in an active square. I can swing it over to h5. So I moved very quickly, or I didn't, but in any case, um, I probably would have made this had I noticed it sooner. And now it says it's already -1. We didn't do anything, and it says we're basically a pawn up. And so that's why I went down this variation and didn't feel threatened. So now we just go g6, blunting all potential pressure from 3 pieces. And then we break in the center, -1.2. We're just better. King safety and development. And when you're castled on opposite sides, you're supposed to get to the opponent's king as fast as you can, if the center is not completely open already. Here I'm maintaining the tension and keeping the control, so I feel free to go on the flank. And now you have many options here. Okay. So e4 is pretty much the best by a lot, and it makes a lot of sense. You do want to close it down so you can attack on the flank. And not by a lot, by a little, but I think in human terms, it's by a lot. Okay, and I think this was just a huge mistake. Knight a4. Oh, I guess trying to reinforce the point. If he has to go defensive, though, I'm more than happy, so happy to see that. So he moves his knight just in the weirdest way possible, and we take free stuff, and it's -3.4, so the game's over. Free stuff. Free stuff for free, because it's check. Improving move for free. Free stuff, -5. And I was looking at this move, kicking the knight, but I didn't want to calculate if he hits me, I hit him. So I just developed a rook. Went down this liquidation line, forcing the queen trade, winning more material. Force move. Develop a move, and kind of like a forced move. I mean, you're winning, so you can do whatever you want, but you might as well defend the pawn and push it. Force move. And you just push the concept of pushing your passed pawn in an endgame. Makes a lot of sense. Your 2 win conditions are these 2 pawns, so you just have to keep reshuffling your pieces as he's doing, and try. One of you has to catch the other one off guard during the reshuffling. He's trying to make sure you can't push them, and you're trying to catch that one moment like this where they slip up and lets you do something that's to your benefit. And this wasn't the only move, of course. You could have gone here and pushed, whatever, you know. I'm just saying, like, that's the whole point of the shuffling behind the pawns. That's what the whole game is fought over. And the rest is kind of obvious. You'll be able to win a position like this if you have time on your clock. I had 37 seconds, so I was surprised that the accuracy was high here because I was moving so quickly. But it seems like I didn't blunder anything too dumb, so that's good to know.